All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. Thursday. Yeah, that's right. It is Thursday. It is our regular day. I missed last week because I vacationed and it was lovely and delightful. But today I'm back. We're going to be unboxing Yumi, which is kind of old news for a lot of people, but it was waiting on my porch when I got back. So we're going to do that. We're going to talk about the Wheel of Time Season 2 trailer. I'm a week late for that. And maybe some other stuff that happened over the summer that we just need to catch up on. I, um, I, in the description to this video, I said something about how this may be the year that I finally turned old. We're going to talk about that too, because I looked up like what were the biggest box office hits this year, and I was looking down the list at how many things I didn't see. So, and some of which I did, of course, but we'll talk about all of that. Should be fun, I hope. Why don't we start with something simple? Let's unbox a little bit of Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. Um, and we'll see what is in here. Hey, Red, how's it going? Okay, so and then as people come in, we're gonna go from unboxing to then we'll give me 5-10 minutes and we'll do like a Wheel of Time trailer reaction, that sort of thing. Like I said a minute ago, I'm catching up on stuff. I was on vacation for 7 days, and it was lovely. But you know that thing where you kind of feel like you need a vacation from your vacation. It's stressful to come home from stuff like that. Um, you saw Barbie, I assume. I haven't seen Barbie. I would see Barbie. Um, I I'm not I'm not actually interested in the Barbie movie, but I'm interested in the discourse. Capital D discourse. Would I see it? Yeah, I definitely would. But I'm more excited to see Oppenheimer. Um, being a mild Nolan head myself, that it's a little more up my alley. Okay, so let's see. Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. This was the third secret project for Sanderson. All right. I gotta say they put these quotes in here. Storytelling is essentially about cheating. They put these quotes in these boxes, and I'm thinking to myself, you could have picked a lot better quotes. I've read your books. There are some quotable moments. I don't feel like that was necessarily one of them, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I'm getting old and crusty. Okay, so this was sitting out on my porch for who knows how many days. Honestly, probably a little while. Judging by the state of the cardboard box, it's a little nasty. So we'll see how everything held up. But I know the book at least is wrapped in plastic, so we should be good there. Okay, so a little sticker for Yumi. We've got another Cosmere pin. This one I got Shallan, my favorite Stormlight character, at least. So that's neat. Let's see. Here's the little card for Yumi and the Nightmare Painter for what this box contained. Make sure I get everything I've got. The sparkly bookmark, the sticker, and the Cosmere character pin. So I got everything. Here's the sparkly bookmark. Looks like that-ish. Obviously tough to see on a camera like this, but there you go. Yep, there we go. That's Yumi, I presume. Let's see who did this. This is art by Aaliyah Chen, I think. It's tough to read, honestly. Okay. That should be everything, so we can get rid of that. Okay. Hey, everybody. Oh, my gosh. Look at all you showing up. Okay. I love anything that helps me throw away boxes without hoarding them. Absolutely. Leaving one out on your porch for several days to kind of decompose helps with that because you do not want to hold on to it. So I'm doing some freelance work for U.S. News and World Report. I'm going to be I'm not the one reviewing them. I'll be on camera delivering the review, but I don't have to write the review. But I am going to be filming like unboxings and doing product photography and videography for home security systems. And so they had to send me, I think it's 7 uh, DIY home security systems. And so over the course of like 2 days, my living room just filled up with boxes. And now I'm despairing about what I'm going to do with all the packing materials. It's just a sinful amount of stuff. Okay, so here we go. Yumi. Oh, very nice. There's Yumi. Oh, that is small. Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. Okay, well, let's take this thing out. I have seen the cover because I Googled it today to make the thumbnail for this video. But other than that, this is my first time seeing the book, and it is just like the other ones. So, yeah, it looks like they are doing a good job of creating a set to go on your shelves. This is one. So I think I told you guys when Tress came out that I was on the beta team for Tress, but I did not do the betas for any of the other secret projects, including this one. So I haven't read Yumi yet. I've heard some good, some less good. Not everybody is thrilled with it, but some people really seem to enjoy it. So I'm interested in where I will come down on that. Illustrations by Aaliyah Chen. There you go. I'm a Sanderson fan, but I'm not an uncritical one. So I'm, as you guys know, I'm more than willing to not be thrilled with a book. And if that's the case here, that's okay. But we'll see how it goes. That's really pretty. Wow. That's a great illustration. That must be what's on the bookmark. It reminds me a little bit of an Alan Lee illustration, although this one's really interesting with kind of the, it's almost like doing a camera with the f-stop adjusted so that you have a really strong like depth of field. So part of this, I know you guys can't really see this, but like this flower is really out of focus and her face is very in focus. So like that's a pretty cool effect. I wonder if this is all digital or if she does that manually. I'm gonna doubt it. I bet it's digital, but that doesn't make it not great art. I think digital art can be amazing. So, but I'll have to ask somebody about it because I don't know. Yeah, it definitely looks like digital art, but it's really, really good digital art. That's like, look at how much detail all around. Anyway, I was going to say this one kind of reminds me of Alan Lee and his Lord of the Rings illustrations because there is a character, but it's more atmospheric and there's he and she in this one he tends to pick 3 or 4 dominant colors that are all pretty close together on your color wheel and blend them together and make flowing shapes with his colors throughout the painting around the subject, and I really like that style quite a bit. Okay, yeah, pretty standard really. We do have, I guess this one does have a little more interesting headers. It's got so it's tritone. We've got the black. It's trying to do me, but it's got the black text, the red, what do you call it? Titles, and the blue dividing line. So that's pretty good. That's nice. Okay, cool. Says on the back, it says, a person is more than their experiences stacked up like stones. Our best moments are the foundations we use to reach for the sky. Okay. It doesn't mean anything to me now, but maybe it will once I read it. So, okay, so yeah, maybe she's a digital artist. Art stunning, agreed so far. Looked at the art and love it. Well, good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Oh, the coloring is meaningful. Okay, well, there you go. Well, I'm glad I said something about it then. All right, well, it's been about 10 minutes. So that's Yumi. We'll get there eventually, probably, I think, maybe. I think it's even on the calendar, but I'm not totally sure. Go to thelegendarium.com where you can check out the calendar for upcoming episodes. Okay. And let's see. Oh, by the way, if you want to appear on an upcoming episode, I would love to have you. Here's the deal with our upcoming what's that thing called that we did, the GoFundMe where people voted for which series we would cover. We're doing Redwall, three Redwall books. We're doing A Wrinkle in Time and A Game of Thrones. So 5 books, and I am inviting um, up to 1 patron per episode to appear on those as kind of a Patreon benefit. So if you are a patron and you would like to appear on one of those episodes, let me know. If you're not a patron, now's a good time to do that, and we can work something out. So there's a patron only channel on Discord where I've been kind of talking with people about that. Okay, now should we talk Wheel of Time? I'm a week late. I know you guys have all already seen this. That's fine. Let's see. Let's scoot me over a little bit. See if I can. Oh, there we go. I know you've already seen this, but I haven't yet. Or no, I did watch it over somebody's shoulder on a phone like a few days ago. That's as far as I've gotten. Um, let's see. Any patrons shown interest for the Redwall books? Yeah, we have the first one covered. That's Redwall. And then I think the one after that is Mossflower, and then I believe we're doing Martin the Warrior after that. So if you'd like either of those, then let me know. DM me on Discord, probably the best way to do it. And what was I going to say? Yeah, and you should pick Mossflower because, as I recall, that was my favorite book of the bunch when I was a kid. So, all right. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Before we do that, I need to make sure you guys are going to be able to hear this. I don't think I turned on the sound. So we're going to do. Okay, there we go. That's how we have to do it. Okay. Yep. Now we've got it coming up, maybe, hopefully. Okay, I think that will work. There we go. Okay. So we've got. This isn't working right. All right. Wheel of Time Season 2 trailer. And here's the deal. I am not sure whether I should just watch it all the way through and then react or start, stop, start, stop. My suspicion is you've all seen this more than once. And so I think it would probably be better if I start and stop and comment as we go. So, all right.
Everyone has a choice. And every choice has a consequence. I'm bigger than my
body. Okay. First things first. I do not care for this pop music style. The dramatic, theatrical, what's the word? Cinematic pop music that they've been using for these trailers. I first took notice of it back when Shannara was a thing, back in would have been 2015, maybe something like that. 2016, whatever it was. But I know that wasn't the first one. That's just when I first noticed it, and I hate it. In part because I don't think it they don't put any of this stuff in the show, right? So it's giving you the wrong idea of what music and what kind of musical atmosphere to expect in the show. So there's that, and also I hate it. So even though some of the songs are good, like by themselves, if I heard them by themselves on Spotify, that's okay. it just doesn't work for me with these trailers so much.
We didn't defeat the Dark One.
Oh, yeah. I love this one song so much that I won't criticize it. Yeah, like I said, it may be a great song. It kind of sounds like it would be a pretty cool song. That's not my point. Anyway, okay. Let's go back.
We didn't defeat the Dark.
Okay, we didn't defeat the Dark One. I love this because it's a shot of the back of Rand, so you're like, oh my gosh, the Dark One, and then
Dark One.
Flips around.
We set him free.
Okay, nothing so.
No.
Oh wait. Okay, so right here, we've got Egwene channeling, and then she's being looked upon. So this got to be her trial, right? She's finally gonna go through her trial.
No one should have that much power.
Ooh. Was that the? She is so hot. I cannot. I sympathize with that. Maybe not with Joshua specifically, or is it Yosha? What Joshua? Whatever. But yeah, I can sympathize. Oops. Let's see.
No.
Okay, so this is the what do they call it? The Dark Council, Dark Friends, whatever. Oh, spoilers, by the way. So like this is the prologue to book 2, IIRC. Sorry, Yasha. Sorry. Okay.
No one should have that much power.
Okay, that's creepy, and that's some very long hair. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So these are the Shan, and but it's not collars; it's like pacifiers, literally, right? That's what they're pacifiers. Okay, all right, that's a choice.
Together we face the impossible.
Oh. So that's again, very minor spoilers. If you haven't read The Wheel of Time, don't worry. I'm not going to tell you anything that wouldn't make any sense without context. So yeah, don't worry about it. But that's got to be the archway from book 4 that they're kind of putting in here, right?
Together we face the impossible. But now in our separate corners of the world.
Let's see. I think the gold thingies around their shoulders are part of their collars too. Okay, so let's go back and have a look at them. Because okay, so this gold thing right here is part of the collar, I guess. I don't see like there's supposed to be a chain involved as well, so I don't see that. But that just looks too soft. But maybe it is metal. I don't know. Oh, it might be the accepted arches. Duh. Okay, fine. I do like this font.
Together we face the impossible. But now in our separate corners of the world.
Okay, so all right. So that's land fear, presumably. All right. Which, I gotta say, I've heard some people complain. Heard some complain that they cast Lanfear too old, which I get from a book lore perspective. It's a fair complaint. I don't share it. But my thing with casting her a little bit older is it does potentially, hopefully, lend the character more gravitas, so that you are when it's time to fear her, then it's more possible to do so. What is a fine series? Okay, well, there you go. Let's see. Oh, thank you very much, Plixiplox. Haven't read past Eye of the World. The series is pretty all right. I think that's pretty fair. Like the series is pretty all right. Is a really fair description, I think that there were some like big missteps, and it's, if I'm sitting down, doing a panel discussion like we did when the show came out, it's going to be hard for me to not want to talk about those big missteps. But what's tougher to remember to do for me in that situation is to look back on all the little good things that they did. There are a lot of little things that I might not agree with, with my headcanon or whatever, but I can let that go. Like the Aes Sedai rings, I think look really stupid. But hey, that's totally subjective and, not that big a deal. But some of the bigger things, it's tough to get past, but it's hard to remember to go back and say, oh, you know what? This, the sequence in the Cursed City was amazing. Yeah, that sort of thing. So the series is pretty all right. I'd say that's pretty accurate. Okay. Sean, welcome. Hello. When we're 13th of the way in. Actually, we can mention that because season 2 is, as I understand it, supposed to combine books 2 and 3 and kind of rip through those really quickly, which I think is fair. But if they're condensing 2 of the most packed books in the series into one season, then I can imagine that they're going to try to plan for like a 6 or 7 season series, at the most. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you can cut from the middle of the series. There's going to be a lot of storylines that you'll be able to combine. There is going to be a lot of like cut and paste from various parts of the series to make it all fit together quickly. So I doubt we're 1/13th of the way in, is what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't mind looking like that guy. That'd be okay. I'd shave my head for that. That's fine.
Protecting Rand, guiding him, that is the only thing that matters. You can't control him.
Is it just me, or is that crown about to fall right off her head?
You know you have something inside you.
Hey, wolf eyes.
Something that calls for blood.
I want to know how to control it.
Okay, so this was the guy who played, remind me of his name, Logain. He played Logain in season 1. Okay, so this must be at the White Tower? Has he been gentled at this point? Interesting. Okay. Oh, theoretically 8 are planned. Well, there you go. Okay.
The last battle's coming.
Oh, sorry. Going back a frame or so.
The last battle.
Okay, so I'm trying to zoom in right here and see. Can I tell what I'm looking at? I feel like. Oh, so this must be the Shan Chan. Yeah, there's those collars right here. Who do I am I crazy, or is that Perrin on the ground? Possibly. Dead person. Get the slaves carrying the thing. Yes, this is all very Shan Chan. Okay, interesting.
Coming.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh. Okay. This is our Baalzamon, right?
The whole world will be ours.
If our friends are in trouble, why would I ever stay here? You have no conception of the power they wield.
You can't do this by yourself.
Oh, did we just have an Aiel veiling up?
No conception of the power they wield.
You can't do this by yourself.
Okay. So yeah, there's Perrin back there. So he was with Bane and Chiad at the time, I think. Yeah. Okay. Oh, with some white cloaks. All right. So this has got to be in the Perrin storyline, et cetera, et cetera.
There are many paths to walk through the night.
It's not always the most powerful who write history.
Okay, so yeah, that was the accepted arbitrage just coming through. Ouch. Yeah. Excellent freeze frame. Oh, shnikes. Okay. That was for you, Linnea. Sorry, I'll go back. All right, I'll go back. There you go. All right, 5 seconds for Linnea. And we can keep going.
It's the ones who survive.
Wait, where did... Egwene went through the arch, right?
It's not always
Oh,
the most
no. That
powerful
wasn't
who
that.
write
It was
history.
the collar. I wanted to see the collar on her. Yeah. That's my favorite part of the series, not because it's pleasant, but because I think it's some of the best character work and writing that he did in the entire series was Egwene Collard. So let's see.
It's the ones who survive.
Okay, so what was that line?
Night. It's not always the most powerful who write history. It's the ones who survive.
Pretty accurate, which is usually the most powerful, but not always. And I don't know. I'll have to think about that statement in my head.
I'm tired of being a spoke in the wheel.
Okay, so that shot is dumb AF.
Tired of being a spoke in the wheel.
It's like super zoom out. Do not care for that. So who's this down here? I do not care for that technique. Or is that, it looked like it was somebody, but maybe it's an object. Oh, that's something that we did not really get in this trailer. Matt. No Matt. They're trying not to remind you that there's a new Matt, I suppose.
You're not a spoke, boy. You are the water that turns the wheel itself.
Okay, well, there you go. Solid trailer. Maybe we can watch it one more time as we go, but I'm not sure what I should do about that. But anyway, okay, so some interesting shots and definitely some shots for the nerds among us, right? I liked the bit when they introduced the Shan-Chan channelers. Is it right here? And when they give them some like snappy arm movements to show off their channeling, and that works really well. There's another shot of it, I think. Yeah, like in a battle scene or something.
Together we face the impossible. But now in our separate corners of the world.
Protecting Rand, guiding him, that is the only thing that matters. You can't control him.
You know you have something inside you.
Okay, wait, who is he? Was that Moraine that he is? Yeah, okay.
Something that calls for blood.
I want to know how to control it.
The last battle's coming.
The whole world will be ours.
Yeah, this little bit right here is what I was looking for. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think there's some good trailer fodder in here. But going back to the first season trailer, I remember, not having a ton to complain about and a whole lot to cheer about there. And then the first season turned out to be, like Plixiplox said, pretty all right. So we'll see what happens with season 2. There are plenty of shows that don't find their footing for a little while, but I feel like that's more acceptable if you're talking about a sitcom or like a procedural show, then that makes sense. That's fine. With a big prestige, expensive drama like this, you kind of want them to hit the ground running, firing on all cylinders, mixing metaphors, whatever. Anyway, you want them to really get going right away. And the first season wasn't like great. It was good, but it wasn't great. So I'm disappointed in that, but hopeful that they can find their footing and turn in a good product moving forward. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. That's Lanfear. Yeah, it is. They did announce the Lanfear casting, so I think it's pretty safe to say that was Lanfear. And rebirthing all the Forsaken to begin with, yeah, my assumption is there's going to be a whole lot of mixing and matching with which Forsaken was where, with which nation, advising which king, or whatever. There's going to be a lot of I'm trying to think of who two kind of interchangeable Forsaken experts. You let me know. There are interchangeable ones that you can throw in, or switch around, whatever. Yeah, when they're cheap to make and when it's not the streaming era. Yeah, that's the thing, is when you're able to binge the whole show. This is another reason weekly releases are great, because when you can binge an entire show, which won't be the case here, whatever, then you don't have any room for like ramping up and getting good. But if you're one of my favorite examples is Veronica Mars, right? This was back in 2005 or something. One of my all-time favorite shows. I love that show, but it took about 4 or 5 episodes for it to find its footing, and discover its identity and get really good. So those first few episodes are fine, but they're not great. It only gets great later, and that's okay because it was a cheap UPN detective TV show, and so that works. Let's see. Oh, the bloody body. Oh, that's what we were asking about. That's a good call. Later book talk to a minimum. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly right. Weekly release allows for chatter. So if you have, again, to Alex's point, in the streaming era, you don't have a 24 episode or 22 episode run during a season. You've got 8 episodes, or maybe 12 or 13, if you're lucky to make your point. I said lucky, but back in the day, if you were doing Cheers or Friends or whatever, some sitcom, then people might not glom on very quickly that it's a good show, but word of mouth spreads week after week after week, and through the first season, through the second season, they build their audience. You can't do it that way in streaming. So I shouldn't say you can't do it that way. It just tends not to work the same way. So I'm a little worried that we see so few people on screen. Is that scene with the pyramid, the Shan Chan taking over Falma? Seems like a village of 20. Well, we only see one little bit. That's fine. So you're talking about the absolute numbers of people on screen. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. They need to save some stuff. They can't. I was about to use an uncouth phrase. They can't. We'll go with muskets. They can't blow their load. Damn, right away. Or what's the packing that they would put in there? That whatever. That didn't work. My guess would be it's the nobility. Oh, interesting. And that would make sense with like one person dead on the ground. They make an example of them. Oh, here we go. Precise seeking. We get where's the Shan Chen? They're not going to be. They pull it up for precise tracking or seeking, but then they don't give me very precise seeking, do they?
But now in our separate corners of the world.
This song anymore.
Protecting Rand, guiding him, that is the only thing that matters. You can't control him.
You know you have something inside.
Thank you. WoT. That's the
Something that calls
WoT is the word I was looking for.
blood.
Okay, moving
I
on.
want to know how to control it.
The last battle's coming.
There, that's okay. So that's a shot. Yeah, with this person lying dead. Oh yeah, we got to make an example of them. I don't know. They're certainly not dressed. And was there nobility in like? This would be where they land in Falma, right? This isn't necessarily where they like. They're not marching to a palace or something here. So I don't know. Maybe it's nobility. Maybe it's not. But regardless, I see. Okay, one person, two person, dead. Everybody else seems to be alive. Whatever. Okay. Wadding. Okay. So, should we do another trailer? What do you guys think? We could do another trailer because there's this one would be, speaking of censorship, this would be not PG-13 the way that Wheel of Time is, but we've got Gen V. I'm curious, are you guys fans of The Boys? They've done 3 seasons now. And it's not uniformly amazing. You know, not every episode do I love. But as a general proposition, I think that show is fabulous. Just an amazing counterpoint to the superhero genre. I think it's and it's very well written, well acted. What's the name of the guy that does Homelander? I used to watch him on Banshee years ago, and he's great. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's a great show. But now there's a new spin-off show, Gen V. So I'm curious about this one. I like some of The Boys. Fell off in season 3, I believe. Yeah, that makes sense. It got they kept pushing the envelope further and further with the content that they were putting in there. And I am not squeamish about, sex and violence in my media, but even I was like, you guys, oi, it got pretty gnarly there in season 3, especially. I mean, through the whole show, obviously, but yowza. Wonder if they're going to do the portal stones or if they'll tweak Rand and Lanfear. I mean, I'm sure there will be plenty of tweaking, but I'll let that one go. But my guess is that super zoom out shot where he's tied to the wheel. Is that going to be something in like a Portal Stone land, or is that just going to be a dreamscape kind of thing? Teleron Riod and all that. So anyway, let's watch the trailer for Gen V. It's a little shorter. Oh, this is Prime too. Yeah, I didn't even realize. Of course it is. Let's see. Oh, I thought I missed something. But yeah, content warning if you're around your kids or whatever, just a heads up, right? These trailers are not children appropriate, but let's see what we got.
Being a hero is not about glory. It's about sacrifice.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. What's his name? Somebody help me out. He played the Kurgan on Highlander, among many, many other better roles. That's always what I think of. Oh, shoot. What's his name? Clancy Brown. That's right, Clancy Brown. What a guy. Holy cow. Okay.
Welcome to Godolphin University. Hey! We've trained the best and brightest young heroes since 1965. Godolphin is a safe space for you to thrive.
Is that blood?
Like I'm just a kid.
Marie Moreau, you could be the first top-ranked freshman in history.
I think you meant to say first black woman in the 7.
I do what I wanna.
But you have a target on your back.
I go when I go.
A few of us are going off campus. Let's have a good time.
I'm sexy, I'm free, and I feel vulgar.
I'm still drunk from last night.
Perfect. Just take a sip. Say Turbo Rush cures hangovers.
I wouldn't pour this on my give it cured cancer.
Okay, so first impression already is that obviously the target demo is younger now because they're setting it in school. And I'm already not sure how I feel about it. I kind of feel like the show is so, if it's set in the world of the boys, you can guess what's coming content wise, and it's so adult. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about directly targeting kids, but maybe they will tone down the violence, etc. We'll see. Oops.
Are dangerous, evil people at that school.
Yikes.
Everything is.
Okay, so there are some returning characters.
I exploded his tag team explosion.
Wow.
Freshman class is savage this year.
Okay. It feels a little bit like at the trailer at least feels fan servicey. Hey, you liked all the blood and guts from that show, and now we're gonna do that, but with like more, like even more juvenile humor. A lot of genitalia exploding, etc. So I'm not thrilled with it. I'll probably give it a shot just because I love the boys so much. But I don't know. I'm not so sure. Let's see. Pretty much love Highlander. I love that movie unironically. It is so much fun. I have probably watched it 8 times. I would watch it again tonight if that were, I mean, it is possible, but if that were called for. Let's see. Have you watched 80s kids movies? No, not much. Like things like Labyrinth, though. What's the other? Labyrinth, Never-Ending Story. There's some others like the kind of puppet. What was the other one? Dark Crystal. There were some of those movies that the aesthetic just always wasn't for me. Even when I was a kid, didn't like it. But I know there are some 80s kids movies that I'm not thinking of that I have watched and enjoyed. So it does not seem toned down. No, it does not seem toned down. So sorry, back on the Gen V trailer. I'm not very prudish. I'm not the most like I don't know quite how to say this. it feels out of character for me, I guess, is my point. But I do feel like if you're going to be targeting teenagers with this show, I wouldn't want my kids watching it. They're not teenagers yet. They're 10 and 7. So I've got a few years to worry about that. But I wouldn't want my 15-year-old, my 16-year-old, my 17-year-old watching what I assume this is going to be. So take that for what it's worth. Like I say, it feels out of character for me. But at some point there's a line, and I'm going to go ahead and guess that they very much cross it. So sex exists. So is the point here that hey, teenager, it should be fine for teenagers to watch something like this because sex exists? Well, that's true. And violence exists. That's true. But how these things are presented matters a great deal. How and when it matters a great deal. So should a 17-year-old kid know that sex exists and violence exists? Yes, absolutely. But should they watch something that kind of feeds that caveman part of their brain that celebrates incredible violence done to those you don't like for whatever reason? I don't love that. So anyway, I think young adult keeps expanding as a demographic. Yeah. Oh, well, that's true. It keeps going up, right? Yeah. YA now targets people well into their 20s and 30s. So, for better and worse, that's not a lament. It's just an observation. No, I was talking about you, about in character. I guess I don't get it. I don't get it. But oh well, there is my favorite thing that I heard on NPR. I don't listen to much NPR anymore, but back when I did, they would do a segment on this or that or the other, like on This American Life or Radio Lab or something, and they would say something like, "Hey, we're going to do a segment in which we acknowledge that sex exists." That was for a pretty tame segment, but I always thought that was a pretty fun way to do it. Anyway, okay. What else we got? Oh, you know what? Here, let's take this off. I wanted to pull up this page because I'm curious about what you guys have seen, because I was shocked. Okay, and we can talk about some of these, what few I have seen. Oh, that's way too small. Okay, let's make me small. Yeah, let's make that big, make me small. Okay, so this is 2023 worldwide box office. And I just pulled this up to try to remind myself, what have I seen and what have I not seen? So, so let's just go through the top 10. All right. We'll go to the other ones later. Out of the top 10, no. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can't really see that. Okay, so no, yes, no, 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 yes, and no. I have seen 2 of the top 10 grossing movies this year. And this is what, when I saw this, I was just shocked. That's when I wrote down, am I old? I'm old now. I am old. Not just because I haven't seen them, but because I haven't felt the need. I used to feel like, oh, I gotta get out and see this. I gotta keep up with the zeitgeist, whatever. And now, again, sticking with the top 10, I do. Okay, so of the 8 that I haven't seen, yeah, I do want to see Mission Impossible. I love Mission Impossible movies. Even if I'm not running out to the theater to see it, I think I will. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Kind of care. I really like the first movie. but I kind of feel like I got it. So I'm not like thrilled that there's another one, but I'm sure it's good. So let's see. I got Mission Impossible. I want to see. Kind of Spider-Man. Yeah, we'll count it. I actually do enjoy the Fast and Furious movies. Call it a guilty pleasure, call it whatever you want, but they are fun, and stupid and fun. So maybe I'll see Fast and Furious. Super Mario Brothers movie. My kid calls that his favorite movie of all time. 10-year-olds fall prey to recency bias, just like we do. Wouldn't you know it? So like 3 of them, but the rest out of 8 in the top 10 that I haven't seen, 5 of them I'm like, I don't care. And that's what makes me feel old. It's the ones I don't care about. Like, I grew up playing the Super Mario Brothers games. I still play the Super Mario Brothers games sometimes. Yeah, I just don't care. Little Mermaid, I have I seen any. I've made it 10 minutes into the Beauty and the Beast live action remake and noped out of that one real quick. What's her name? Emma Watson, one of the most beautiful people any of us has ever seen, can't act. And it's too bad. I wish she could. But that one is tough. Can't really sing very well either. Anyway, I'm trying to think if I've seen any other live action ones. I don't think so. I want to say I saw some bits of Aladdin. That was pretty. No, I think I did see Aladdin. I believe I did go to the theaters and see that one, maybe with my kids. But the fact that I am not sure and don't remember says something. Let's see. Haven't seen Spider-Verse. No, haven't seen Spider-Verse. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's so good. I saw the first one. Was it Across or not? That's Into the Spider-Verse, right? This one's Across the Spider-Verse. I'm sure it's good. It's just, again, this is what makes me feel old, because I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it's a good movie, and I still don't feel the need to see it. For the love of the light. I will say, speaking of stuff that people just say is amazing, I saw so many people come out of Guardians. Like Ryan was texting the group. He came out of Guardians and he's like, I just cried the whole time. It was amazing. I, cheered, and laughed, and cried, and it was the most incredible Marvel movie, et cetera, et cetera. And I went and saw it, and I came out and went, it was fine. That was fine. Maybe I'm just not built for these things anymore. Let's see what else you got. So, Panda, you've seen 6. That is pretty impressive. Let's see. Live action Cinderella is good. Oh, that was with what's her name? Lily Allen? No, that's the singer. That's the singer. What's her name? Lily something. Dang it. What's her name? Somebody tell me. Ryan cried. Yeah. Lily James. Thank you. Yeah, she's the one that plays Cinderella, right? I've always liked her. I've enjoyed watching her on screen. There was that Beatles movie that she was in, and a lot of people hated it, and I quite enjoyed it. Whatever that was called. The one where, like, if the Beatles music disappeared from the world. Yeah. Let's see. I'd say all the live action are blah. Haven't seen Little Mermaid, but I do know from clips that Halle has the voice of an angel. I hope she's better than Emma Watson. Yeah. Let's see. Olds have bandwidth issues. I'm not sure that that's it. Maybe it is. Maybe it's like, as my kids are getting older, they're kind of sucking up more and more of my energy to go do things. So, like, when I get to the end of the day, it's true that now when I get to the end of the day, I'm much more just like, I just want to sit down. Like, in my house, I want to sit down, do nothing at the end of the day. where it used to be truer that it was like, okay, it's the end of the day. I'm going to go out, go see a movie. But I don't know if that's a function of like having children or just getting older and being more tired generally. Tough to say. Woman from Downton Abbey. There you go. Yeah, I know she was in that. I never watched Downton Abbey, but I've seen her in a few other things and really like her. Have you mentioned Asteroid City? No, I've only talked about the top 10 at this point, but we can scroll down and talk about a few of the others because I have seen some other movies this year. Let's see. Cried like a baby at Guardians. I was not prepared for the upsetting thing. The CGI is atrocious. What? No, get out of town. I feel like CGI has come, miles since I was a kid, right? Like the original Aladdin movie has that sequence when they're trying to escape the Cave of Wonders, and there's that kind of computer generated imagery with the cave wall and all the stuff, and it just, you look at it now and you're like, oh, bless your hearts. So it's come a long way, but I feel like we're doing things with CGI that we shouldn't be doing for another 10 to 20 years, especially just in terms of sheer volume of CGI. And they just need to calm down with all that. The bubble sounds without bubbles. I don't know what that is. If maybe that must be in the Little Mermaid. I guess that would make sense. Yeah, it went full circle back to awful. It's not necessarily that we're not good enough yet. It's that we're not fast enough yet. It takes forever. It's so freaking expensive. Just, mostly I'm sure because of staff costs. I'm trying to pay people to make these shots. And so you get things like I haven't seen it, but from what I understand, Quantum Mania is just like a riot of horrendous CGI, or at least horrendous. Yeah, Eye of the Beholder and all that. But those are the things that I've heard. And with something like that, it's like, hey, you want us to make a presumably 2.5 hour pure CGI movie? That's going to take years. And they're like, yeah, you've got 8 months and your budget is $100 million, just for the CGI, right? Maybe less. Maybe it's like $50 million for the CGI. And so they're like, well, here you go. That's what you paid for. Right. It's not that we don't have the technology or that we're not good enough at it yet. It's just we're not willing to invest the time and money to make it good. So, but hey, as long as people keep going and seeing those movies, they'll keep cranking them out the way that they've done. So, okay. De-aging needs to stop. I recently watched with one of my kids, Tron Legacy. And that was the first movie I remember where people were like, WTF with oh gosh, what's his name? So somebody will tell me his name for some reason. I'm blanking on it. But when he plays his younger self or when he plays Clue, people are like, this is awful. It's terrible. How could they do this? And I never cared. With some things you just accept how bad they are. To be honest, this is how this is kind of how I feel about CGI right now generally, where I can recognize it is not good. I can recognize all the reasons for it. But when I see like it takes a bit to take me out of the movie, basically, because I can accept that, oh yeah, they needed to make the rhinoceros in Black Panther. So the rhinoceros doesn't quite run right. The weight isn't right, but hey, whatever. They wanted a rhinoceros on screen and hey, that's fun. So I'll let it go. But then there would be a shot like when they're doing in the original Black Panther movie, they're doing the like trial by combat and there's all the people in the like waterfall cliffs and stuff above them and they look awful. That moment took me out, but it doesn't happen as often for me as it seems to happen for some other people. I don't know, whatever. new CGI techniques for Aslan's Mane and for Transformers. Yeah, there really is some cool stuff. And as much as I hate, and I do hate Avatar, we've got James Cameron to thank for a lot of that. Going back to like T2. Um, Obviously, The Lord of the Rings was huge with Gollum. He was like the marquee version of it, but also the crowd shots, the armies, the battles. They invented some new CG technology for that. That was pretty cool. Anyway, let's see. All right, so let's see what else I have seen. I haven't seen Indiana Jones yet. They did me so dirty with what's it called, the alien one, that I'm just like, I maybe at some point, if it makes sense, I'll go see it, but I can't say I'm all that curious. I have not seen Creed 3. I did like the first Creed movie. I don't think I've seen the second one, but I like the first one a lot. I haven't seen The Flash. Although I have seen some, like, they put some clips from The Flash like on social media, and wow. It looks, speaking of bad CGI, that looks terrible. Oppenheimer is probably the next one I'll go see. I'll probably go see that this weekend, maybe Sunday night. I have seen Dungeons and Dragons, and I absolutely loved it. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, they're not going to give me the budget here, but I wish they would. I really, really enjoyed that one. Possibly because I went into it with almost no expectations. So that was good. Let's see. Scream 6, don't care. Insidious, Evil Dead Rise, Sound of Freedom, Shazam. I did enjoy the first Shazam movie, and I am a huge Zachary Levi fan, and I cheer for him a lot, but I haven't gotten out to see that one. Nope. Cocaine Bear, that would be fun, but I haven't seen it yet. 65. I did fall asleep to this one a couple weeks ago. It's on Netflix, I think. That's the one with Adam Driver and dinosaurs, which is a great concept, but it was pretty late and I fell asleep. So there you go. I love movie titles, you guys. Plane. Oh, that's like one of those really cheap Gerard Butler action movies, and it reminds me of like when streaming services first became a thing. You could go on and see like the cheapest movies they could get with decent names were some like really bad Steven Seagal movies, Chuck Norris. Who's the other big one that I was thinking of? We're talking like B movie material stuff that that you would get in like a red box, and the streaming services got them, and and so it became this meme about these crappy B movie action vehicles. And like Gerard Butler is definitely he's the heir to that sort of movie now. And I have to admit, I have a little bit of it's a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. Oh, there's Asteroid City, which somebody asked about, and no, I have not seen it. I haven't seen anything else on here, have I? I want to see this one so bad. Oh, I got to look that one up to see if I can. Nope, nothing. You guys, this has been such a light movie year for me. There's Face Off 6. What? I'm sorry. You know what? It's because I've gone over an hour. And I've cursed the live stream so that now we're looking at things like Face Off 6. This was such a bad idea to go over an hour. It's these live streams. It's unwritten. It's an unwritten rule, but unwritten rules are still rules. I should not have. Oh my gosh. I'm cursed now with the knowledge that there's a Face Off 6, and I blame all of you for not telling me that I'd gone over an hour. This is your fault. I'll never forgive you. Unless, of course, you go to Patreon and be a patron. Then I'll forgive you. Other than that, how dare you? How dare you? Okay. I am going to call it there, you guys. I was 7 minutes late. I was actually a little bit late starting, so we're 5 minutes late. Thank you. Chuck, Bryce needed to be gayer. Okay. I will say, what's his name? Who plays Bryce Larkin? He was also in Magic Mike, and he was White Collar was his big personal vehicle. What's his name? Basically, the prettiest man I think I've ever seen in my life. So that's fine. Oh yeah, by the way, before I go check. I'm being reminded. First of all, go check out the calendar at thelegendarium.com. So if you want to know what's coming up, you want to read along with us, you want to know what topics I'm going to be going over with, authors and guests and whatnot, then go check out the calendar. It'll tell you everything you need to know for the next 2 months or so. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the other thing is the meetup next February. So I put out the call on Discord, but for those of you watching, if in case you missed it on Discord, I'm looking for maybe one more volunteer. I could take up to 2 more volunteers, but I've got a couple people helping out already, but I do need at least one more to help out, volunteering to just kind of do some of the logistics and get this meetup working well for next February. We've got about 6 months. And I especially need somebody to help me out with like the venue, maybe some catering. And all I need is somebody to help me organize that and contact the people and be the point person for those things. I've got somebody helping. Let's see. Thank you. Speaking of which, Matt Bomer. Yeah, what a guy. Whew. That's he makes my Kinsey scale go all wobbly, right? Is that how that works? I'm pretty sure that's how that works. No, Panda's going to be helping out with some programming stuff. I'm hoping, so that's great. But I do need somebody to help out with some other stuff. So if you have just a small amount of time, this is it's not a huge time commitment. It's mostly just an organizational commitment. Somebody who has the type of brain I don't and can be organized. Then I would love your help with that. DM me on Discord, DM me on Twitter, although that's a little weirder now. But anyway, find me. Let me know if you would be willing to do that. All right, now that we're 8 minutes over, I'm going to call it there. And I will see you all next Thursday for some kind of amazing live stream. We'll see what it is. All right. Have a good one, everybody. See you next time.